Good afternoon, ladies and menfolk. It's Full Coverage Writers here. We're coming to you today, after Book Expo America, to do our last book haul. We're coming to you today for a dual book haul because Calvin has his own shiny baubles to show off. So it's not just going to
Yes.
be one talkie head today. So since there's two of us, we're going to try and go back and forth so it's not just one person sitting there silently for half an hour while we ramble through all the stuff. So, or bear with us while we go through this one by one, because there is a lot. All right. Let's
Yeah.
dive in with the books, because there's a lot of them. I'm going to kick things off with the first book on my pile, kind of stack them from largest to smallest, so let's go with one of the small ones. I have with me Eric Flint and Charles E. Gannon's 1635, The Papal Stakes. Now, this one we got signed by both of them. So, as you can see, dual signatures right there. Now, this is in the middle of the 1600 series. So, if you're not familiar with the whole series, this may not be the first one to grab, but I'm excited to read it because apparently there's a very big firefight in this one, I believe. I'm pretty sure the other one had a naval fight in it that they were
Yep.
promoting.
One had a gunfight, the other had a ship fight.
Yeah, we got the gunfight one.
Cool.
So, looking forward to reading this one eventually. What's the first one in your stack?
Let's see. First one in my stack is "Follow Me Through Darkness" by Danielle Ellison of Spencer Hill Press. This looks like it's going to be an interesting fantasy novel. The main character is named Neely Ambrose, and basically it looks like it's going to be a thriller, basically trying to outline, basically her going through the motions, trying to gain her freedom back. It looks like she was put on a path that, put on a life path that she had not chosen, and she's going to try in her journey to find the truth, find herself, and just basically figure out who she can trust in this world. So it sounds like an interesting read.
Hmm, cool. Let's see. Next one in my pile is The Crossings by Barry Kinzel,
Ah, yes.
and also signed. A couple of these are not, so I'm just double checking while I go through, because not all the authors were available at the time, unfortunately. Apparently, this one is based on a true story, a young boy's daring adventure of courage, faith, and friendship. It's going to be an interesting read. And I think he was an independent author. I don't think that he was part of a group at the time, so I'm going to be adding this to the to be read pile of doom.
All right. My next book is Damsel Distressed by Kelsey Mack. I do believe this is also this is a Spencer Hill imprint. This looks like it's going to be an interesting anti Cinderella story. The first sentence in the description says, "Hot girls get all the fairy tales. No one cares about the stepsisters story. Those girls don't get a sweet little ending. They get a lifetime of longing."
I'm,
So,
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
sorry.
that I got a copy of that one too. Either that or that's the copy that I gave you.
Ah, so this book looks like it's gonna be, like I said, your anti Cinderella story. talking about the struggles of the one that usually doesn't get all the attention or the accolades or, for that matter, anything.
Hmm.
It's basically a book about the forgotten one finally getting their moment in the sun.
Yeah, it should be a
Uh,
fun read.
this one's definitely got my attention.
All right, let's see. Next one up is Lupus Rex by John Carter Cash, who was. I'm already blanking. You told me yesterday.
Yes, John Carter Cash is the son of Johnny and June Carter Cash.
Right. Unfortunately, this one is not signed. He was not at the table. But we managed to snag a copy anyway. Let's see. The greatest courage is found in the smallest heroes. Oh no, wolves aren't really that small. Should be interesting to get to this one.
All right. My next book is Nora Bonesteel's Christmas Past by Sharon McCrum. Look here. Talking to the author, she said, it was a ghost story. She said, ghost story? I said, yes, please. Excuse me. It's going to be yeah, it's a thin book, so it's going to be not a terribly long read, but it looks like it's going to be a bit, excuse me, a bit of a detective story full of spirits and angels.
Hmm.
And it's also Christmas themed, so that should definitely be an interesting theme to go along with everything.
I believe I got a copy of that one as well on dates. I was right behind you, so maybe we can
Right.
do a dual review of that one somewhere down the line before
Okay.
I give my copy away.
All right. Excellent.
Let's see. Now we're getting to the bigger books. All right, and this time we have a compendium, The Best Horror of the Year, Volume 6,
Ah, yes.
by various authors. Edited by Ellen Datlow. And was it Ellen Datlow who signed it, or was it one of the authors? Because I wasn't in that line, actually.
It was Ellen Datlow that signed it.
Okay, cool. They got a lot of authors in there. So, let's see. Just a quick peek at the table of contents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd guess about 25 tales in this one. So there's got to be something for everyone in here who appreciate horror stories anyway. I'm going to try and convince Justin to look at this one because he's our horror aficionado.
Nice. Okay. My next book is The Pilot Method by Elizabeth McCormick, who is, I believe, one of the first Black Hawk pilots. I believe she.
I think I made the same distinction on my recording and later remembered she's the first female Black Hawk pilot.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure we kind of both heard the same thing. I
Yeah.
thought that was what was said. Anyway, either way, she's awesome.
Mm.
We got to meet her, and she's really really awesome and really sweet. Description here says, "Do you remember the first time you saw an airplane or a helicopter in the sky flying through the clouds? The Pilot Method brings the skills of a pilot to your life. It's basically a motivational and life skills book, outlining outlining 5 ways to try to get you to your best life. In the acronyms in the Pilot Method are PILOT: potential, implementation, leadership, optimize, and tenacity. These five elemental truths will lead you in your life and help you soar to success.
We all need that.
I know I do.
Nice. All right. Now we're getting into relatively unexplored territory for me with novels. This one is Nancy Nagel's Sweet Tea and Secrets, an Adams Grove novel. Let's raise it up so we can actually see the book. And this one is signed by the author. And it's even dated BEA 2014. And it's a Montlake romance. I actually haven't read romance in a good while, so I have a feeling this will be a nice way to ease back into it.
All right. My next book is And Justice for All: The Quest for Concord by Orrin Woodward. Excuse me. This one is Volume One: The Problem Defined. I think the one description that sticks out in the back reads as follows: Brilliant. This book is the Federalist Papers of our times. Woodward's Six Duties of Society are a seminal contribution to the whole field of political science, economics, history, and leadership. This is the kind of book Thomas Jefferson would write and certainly read if he were alive today. That was from Oliver DeMille, the author and founder of Thomas Jefferson Education.
Hmm.
So it's a book that kind of outlines like some of the perils that we found ourselves in, which is more specifically government has found itself in, and ways that we can try to get out of this rut before it's too late.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
we could use that too.
it's going to be interesting going through this. I think I may have a friend that might be interested in this book as well.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go through it, and I may tell him about it, get his opinion on it.
Nice. Let's see. Next one up in my pile is Levon Erskine's Elvin, The Legacy of Thayer. And this is apparently book 1 of 5 in a series, and he's gonna have, I think, 4 spin-off novels he mentioned. So
Nice.
this is gonna get pretty big, and this is a big book already.
Yeah.
It's a decent size, so. But it sounds like a pretty solid, nice fantasy, so I look forward to getting into it.
All right. The next book in my pile is a book that CJ has already completed, and I can't wait to get to this one. It's The Invasion of Heaven by Michael Kep. Early this morning, CJ sent me a message which basically summed up basically what the author said. Said his reaction was going. CJ's reaction was going to be, and
Yep.
I really cannot wait to read this book. I'm like really itching to get to this one. I have one book to finish before I get to this, so
It's definitely a trip.
like a super mind job, or just like one of those like, damn, really?
There are levels within levels in this part of the trilogy, so I'm really curious now how this is going to play out.
Mm.
Because every time he teases a curveball, it's not the type of curveball you expect.
Ooh. Oh man.
And one thing I will say for the book is he uses the concept of Chekhov's gun a couple times, but even though you see it coming, you don't see it coming, which is really nice. It's a nice touch.
So a lot of the ideas in this book are well executed.
Surprisingly well so. I was impressed.
Excellent. So this is number two on my list right now.
All right. As for my next one, I have two copies of this one because the author is just fantastic. We have Scott Sigler's Pandemic, which is the conclusion to his Infected series. So let's show the proof right here. And he was nice enough to, let's see if I can do this without hitting the mic, sign both. And I know someone out there will probably say, oh, you only have one because you're only showing one. Meh. Meh.
Take that.
Yeah, we got two signed copies to give away.
Like major shout out to him because that was a really awesome thing to do.
Yeah. And I admittedly have not read the Infected series yet, so now I want to get the first two and read through it because this one sounds great. But I can't read things out of order.
All right, let's see what I got here. I've got the Steampunk Adventurer's Guide by Thomas Wilford.
That one looks like so much fun.
I'm excited to thumb through this one. This book is pretty much a DIY guide to steampunk. Basically, putting together your own costumes, armor. Actually, discover. Here's what it says in the back: discover how to forge these imaginative contraptions: decoder arm guard, signaling periscope, goggles, grappling hook launcher, airship harness, glider wings, a rivet gun, power armor, magnetic amplification gauntlet, and rocket pack.
I want all of those things.
I think I just want the goggles and the rivet gun. And maybe the arm guard too. That would go really well with my with the new steampunk outfit I'm trying to put together.
Nice.
And it was also awesome meeting the author because he came dressed in all his steampunk garb, and his arm guard was absolutely sick, man. I loved it.
That was impressive.
Yeah. So if you're into steampunk, this here is the book for you.
Definitely.
All right, that actually does it for my day one book list.
Or the
Let me go.
equivalent of my day two for reference.
Oh yeah,
That's why there's some overlaps if you've watched my day two versus this one.
right.
All right, my next up is the last standalone book out of my stack. You'll understand going forward why I specify that, but we have Copper Girl by Jennifer Alice Provost, also by Spencer Hill Press. This is the first book of a series, and yep, also signed and dated BEA 2014. That was kind of a theme yesterday, I noticed. All of a sudden, they're dating it by BEA 2014, which is kind of a nice touch, so you know when it was from.
Yeah.
So, this is going to be a fascinating little series. I kind of want to bump this higher up on my to be read list, if I can. Because they look like nice little short reads, but I have like 30 books in my stack now, so we'll see how I prioritize them.
All right. My next book is I Love You Forever by April Gray. It's basically a collection of short stories about zombies, ghosts, ancient spells, and love in no particular order. There are. I just had it. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven short stories, and at the end, it also has the first chapter of April Gray's book, Chasing the Trickster.
Nice.
So this should be a fun little read. It actually caught my attention when I was on the line for um the Ellen Ellen Darrow book,
Uh,
the horror compilation.
uh, Ellen Datlow.
Ellen Datlow. I was on the line for that book, and this one happened to catch my eye, and I looked it up, and I was like, "Yep, need to get that one too."
Yeah, that was on my list of ones I wanted to snag if possible, but then I ran out of energy by that point. So you snagged it for us.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to hold off with my big reveal. So I'm going to migrate to bookmarks. We actually
Okay.
got five yesterday. We have one from The Legacy of Thayer. So that book's going to come with a bookmark. We have Charles E. Gannon's Fire with Fire, which unfortunately they ran out of within the first hour of day three. That's the one that I really wanted to get, but then they were all out because I wasn't quick enough.
Well, you might end up getting it anyway.
Yeah, the author was fantastic and said he's going to try and mail me a copy because I mentioned how much I was looking forward to it. So if I do end up getting it, I am going to be very excited. We have a bookmark for Copper Girl, Jennifer Ellen Provost, and the follow-up book, Copper Ravens. So one for each. And then we have one from Valancourt Books, Horror and Supernatural, Vintage Gay Fiction, and Neglected Literary Classics, which is a very eclectic mix.
Quite.
Yeah. I want to check them out a little more, kind of find out just what are neglected literary classics, because that sounds fascinating.
I'm with you on that one. Okay. I'm going to skip two of these books because you already mentioned them earlier.
But just for posterity, you can mention which ones you're skipping.
The Crossings by Barry Kenzie and Kenzo,
Hmm.
and Pandemic.
Okay. Yeah, so we have a couple copies of these now.
Yes. All right. So my next book is In the Time of Green Blimps by Henry Melton.
A little over to the side.
Oops.
There we go.
Sorry. All right. That's better. This is actually book 4 of the Project Saga.
Hmm.
Let's see. Samuel Bowles' plan was simple: go to California and parlay his camera and editing skills and the connection with his famous uncle into an entertainment industry career. But fate had other ideas. Rachel New, an aspiring actress with enough genetic enhancements to make her perfect, saw Samuel as her way to stardom. And the giant living blimps flying overhead had their own fiery date with destiny. 100 years after the supernova flare had set everything back, the world had been on two conflicting paths to recovery: industrial versus genetic engineering. Samuel and Rachel's opportunity to document history was soon going to put them in the crosshairs of a war that would steer the world in one direction or the other.
Interesting.
The whole deal with the two conflicting paths was what really got my attention. Basically, two completely different schools of thought and engineering pulling at each other, and I really want to see where that goes. I'm also going to have to look into the Project Saga.
Hmm.
Let's see about these other books. All right.
All right, now we're going to go a little tiny because we have some one chapter previews from Tanya Kappas and Nancy Nagel. They came in little packs, so I actually have a couple repeats on these. I have one for Checkered Crime by Tanya Kappas. We got two for Nancy Nagel's Mint Juleps and Justice. We got two of Nancy Nagel's Out of Focus. We got two of Kelsey Browning and Nancy Nagel's In for a Penny. And we got two of Tanya's A Charming Crime.
Kind of interested in reading that one.
Well, these are the first chapters of each one to kind of give people an idea. And we also got two little mini funky bookmarks, which
Nice.
have nancynagel.com, read, relax, repeat.
Shout out to Nancy and Tanya because they are awesome.
Yeah, they're a great two people. It was fun talking to them.
The two partners in crime there.
Mm.
All right. Excuse me. My next book is Blood for the Sun by Eric Nunnally. There.
That one looks really interesting.
Yeah, this one. I believe this one's going to be number 3 on the list. After more than 140 years, Alexander Smith is suffering from memory loss that plagues him like a supernatural Alzheimer's. He has lasted longer than most by clinging to the love he has for his adopted daughter, the vampire Anna, and puzzling out cases of missing or murdered children. Without them, he wouldn't be able to ignore the ghost of a child from his guilty past or fight the whispers goading him to kill. On his latest job, he stumbled upon a vampire conspiracy that has left a trail of child murders up and down the East Coast. A conspiracy that promises inoculation against the sun. If true, the conspirators' success would mean a bloody conflict, altering the balance between humans and the supernatural forever. Losing more of his mind every day, Alexander has two impossible tasks ahead of him if the world is to survive. Stop the vampire coven and reconnect with his humanity. That sounds like a super mind job, and I can't wait to read that one.
Did you manage to snag a shot glass to go with that one?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
That was actually one of the first things that, the second thing that caught my attention.
All right. I'm going to move on to the posters now, because I have a fair amount of those. I'm just going to power through these rather than do one at a time, but we got one for Copper Ravens, which I presume is, yeah, that's centered. It's hard to see my camera. Unfortunately, these are not signed, but we are still going to be giving them away for those that are interested. We also have Silent Star Song by T.J. Wooldridge, which I'm kind of intrigued about. I'm going to see what else I can find about this book.
Please do. I'm interested in that one as well.
Yeah. And another one I'm going to have to check out is Ben Fox, Oral Zombie Specialist, at your service. I mean, come on, how can you not be interested in this?
Exactly.
And if you are interested in this, guess what? We got two.
So wheat.
So we'll be giving those out as well. Now for the ones we will not be giving out, because these were actually personalized. The Invasion of Heaven.
Yep.
I'm going to have to find a special place to keep this one all nice. And then from Spencer Hill Press, the cover artist actually signed this one for me. She did all of these covers on this one, which
She
is just
does very
fantastic.
great work.
Yeah.
I am super impressed with her.
I'd actually love to get her on the podcast just to talk about how do you create an image for a cover based off of a story like all of those, because I'm sure that's a fascinating process.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, she's that would be a great interview, definitely.
Mm. And that's all the posters that I got yesterday.
All right. I've got two more books here. This one here is Shanghai Sparrow by Guy Siebold. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the first name. Gaie. The front of the cover says espionage, etheric science, murder. Excuse me. One girl against an empire. The premise for this book actually reminds me a little bit of Danielle Ellison's book a little bit.
Huh.
Uh, Eveline Dushin is a thief and a con artist surviving day by day on the streets of London, where the glittering spires of progress rise on the straining backs of the poor and disenfranchised, where the folk, the otherworldly children of fairy tales and legends, have all but withdrawn from the smoke of the furnaces and the clamor of iron. Caught in an act of deception by the implacable Mr. Homeforth, Evie is offered a stark choice: transportation to the colonies or an education, an utter commitment to Her Majesty's service, and Miss Cairngrim's harsh school for female spies. But on the decadent streets of Shanghai, where the corruption of the empire is laid bare, Homeforth is about to make a devil's bargain, and Eveline's choices could change the future of two worlds.
Goodness.
This one sounds this one sounds like an interesting one, and the the quote under the description is kind of hilarious. Tremendous pacey fun, perky heroines, mysterious men, vivid settings, dastardly plots, and a steam-powered dragon. What more could a girl want?
Nice.
I'm very intrigued by this steam-powered dragon and what part it plays in this story.
You will have to find out.
I think I will.
All right. Next up is our bags, or my bag. I only got one yesterday. I was averaging two, but this time round, all I got was Bayans. And I'm sorry, guys, this one's mine. I'm not giving this one away. Because, yeah, if you've listened to our podcast, this is one of my favorite publishers. So you can have the big red bag, you can have the others. I ain't giving this one up.
All right, my next book here is Universal Talk Laws: How to Increase Your Net Worth with Words by Kinja Dixon. I got a chance to chat with Kinja on it was yesterday, correct?
Yes.
And he Kinja is a motivational speaker, but he he started off as an incredibly impressive sales guru who was able to, with his skills, pull in like high six figures per year, very high six figures per year. But he decided to let that life go to become a motivational speaker and inspire people and help people start living their best life. So that was something that really caught my attention, and also his very infectious, charismatic personality. It was very exciting speaking with him, and we realized we have something very much in common, we're both from the same neighborhood. So I'm excited to read this one. This one I was more than happy to shell out for. I'm looking forward to reading this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking it out afterwards.
Hey, you got it.
All right, I am out of stuff except for our big reveal. How many do you have left?
That was my last. Excuse me. That was my last book. I have, I think, only one poster to show because we both pretty much got all the same posters.
Uh, I'm going to let you skip ahead because I think this is going to be the last thing that we reveal for the wrap up.
Okay. Let's see. I had the invasion of the personalized invasion of heaven poster. I got the Ben Fox zombie poster. I got Lisa Amowitz's poster. She was the artist, the cover designer for Spencer Hill. I also have. This was from Friday. The damsel distressed poster.
I didn't even see those.
They had these, and the designer of this poster, and who was also the cover artist, was there, and I got to chat with her.
Oh, cool.
And so that was pretty exciting. This is a very, very awesome poster. I love how she puts this together. It's fantastic. So this one here is a keeper.
Nice.
Let's see. I got a couple of bookmarks. Let me put this back. I have a Follow Me Through Darkness bookmark. Yeah, Danielle Ellison book. I have a bookmark for a novel called Vision by Lisa Amowitz, the cover designer.
Nice.
She's also an author. Also from Lisa Amowitz, Glass. Yeah, Breaking Glass. Able to see that okay? Okay.
Yep.
All right. And this one here is Bordeaux, The Bitter Finish by Janet Hubbard. Murder never tasted so good.
Oh my.
And that about covers my grab.
All right. I guess it's time for the big reveal then.
Should I do a drum roll?
If you want.
Okay.
So, at the last day, we entered a raffle at Spencer Hill Press because we just camped out there so much. And why not? The end of the day, basically the last thing we did was get a call. Like, you won the raffle. What? There were 3 raffles, no less, and we won first choice because we were the first ones to arrive, so we ended up picking up the heaviest one just to make it easier on them in case they needed to ship one. So, our raffle basket has 6 books, a couple other little shiny baubles, so let's roll through this. We are going to be giving this away as the full, almost full bundle. There's a few things we're going to leave out simply because of shipping logistics, but you'll see it all. We're not going to censor it. But just taking the books out tips it over. But we have both Copper Girl and Copper Raven, so you get both books. Now, I should specify all of these books in this bag are not signed, unfortunately. So You will not have signed copies, but you are going to get 6 books from Spencer Hill Press all in one batch. So we're hoping that makes up for it. We have The Other Tree by D.K. Mock. We have Death and Mr. Right by Kendra L. Saunders. We have The 400-Pound Gorilla by D.C. Farmer. Sometimes you have to make your own luck, or die trying. Well, I'd rather not die. And then the last one is Call of the Jersey Devil by Aurelio Voltaire.
Wait, that's one of Voltaire's books? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, these are all 6 books that are going to be in this basket for whoever happens to win that giveaway. But wait, there's more! Also within this basket was 2 necklaces. Let's see if we can do this here. It's kind of a... Don't spin around like that. Kind of looks like a tiger's eye, little acorn jewel with little leaf on it. And this is a necklace, but you got one side here, which is a little locket with a few little bangles, and then to tie it all together is a key.
Nice.
This was a nice one. I didn't catch it in there originally while it was still all in the wrapping. And I want to read all of these books just to understand the significance of why, amidst all of this, they put in some Woodward Reserve. So we have some Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey in here. This is what is not going to be included simply because trying to ship liquor, even nationally, is a little complicated. And this weighs a decent little amount. This is probably as much as a couple of the books, and I don't really want to have to ask people to pay for shipping just to receive something like this. So unfortunately, you're not going to get the alcohol if you win this basket. We do also have 2 shot glasses in here for the Blood for the Sun book.
I was able to snag one of those.
I'm currently debating whether or not I should put these in the winner's basket or not. We'll see how things go. Because these are easy enough to ship, but since the book itself is not part of the winner's thing, I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, that was the big winner for yesterday. So shout out to Spencer Hill Press.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. I moved this off to the side. Also, amongst all of that was funky little keychain with a little plushy character. I'm not sure which book this is referencing, but that was in there too.
I quipped yesterday that it looked like a miniature voodoo doll.
It might very well be.
Hopefully it's not connected to anybody.
Well, the winner will find out. Yeah, that is our book haul for days 2 and 3 of Book Expo America 2014. We have a lot of stuff to read, review, and give away, and a lot of authors and publishers and agents we want to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
Exciting, but crazy.
Yeah. So as we've mentioned in previous videos, if you want to learn more about our future giveaways of all of these things, you are going to have to hit that subscribe button so you'll find out when we post more information about all of these things. And so you can check out our upcoming book reviews and author interviews and trade and agent interviews. We're going to try and get a lot of these people on our shows, so you're going to want to check it out. It's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that's going to do it for us. So we're going to wrap this up and tune in next time for whatever other crazy shenanigans we get into.
Yeah, we get into some fun stuff, so stay tuned, and we'll see you guys soon.
Until next time, all.